Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. I'm Jennifer Richardson with the details. 4 more categories of skilled workers for CARICOM nationals have been added to the law books of St. Vincent and the Grenadines after it was approved in Parliament today. The 4 categories of the CSME workers are artisans, agriculture workers, domestic workers, and private security guards who can now work in SVG using their CARICOM Signal Market and Economy CSME Skills Certificate. Tabling the bill for an act to amend the Immigration and Caribbean Community Skills National Act Chapter 113 was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who said he welcomes the free movement of CARICOM nationals, including the 4 new additions.
Has been prompted by market requisites. There's a need for artisans. In fact, even before, Madam Speaker, the provision was made for artisans to be on this exempt list that can travel freely. In practical terms, they did, because everybody needs carpenters and masons and people working in metal and steel and so on for the construction industry. Similarly, there had been a difficulty in countries attracting agricultural workers and domestic workers.
The Prime Minister said there are some challenges, including the contingent rights of the workers. However, he said CARICOM is moving to have a complete freedom of movement of people, and when that is approved, his government will comply with this agreement. In her contribution to the bill, Minister of National Mobilization, Kiesel Peters, said she fully supports the move to add the categories of workers, which she believes will help the labor market efficiency in SVG.
In times of disaster response and recovery, we see the movement of skilled workers being very important. And over the last 4 years, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has experienced quite a bit as it relates to disasters and the way we respond. And we have seen the ability of persons to move freely to come in to assist, to give the necessary help to our country, to help us to recover. We have seen that at play. Madam Speaker, recently we experienced Hurricane Beryl, and we are currently undertaking relief, recovery, and reconstruction. And in undertaking that, it is very important that we have skilled persons to get us to that point.
The bill was also supported by the opposition parliamentarians. Leader of the opposition, Dr. Godwin Friday, highlighted that while it is a good move, he is of the view that Vincentians need to be prepared for the employment opportunities in other CARICOM countries.
We support it, but at the same time, Madam Speaker, it's with the urging that those concerns that I raised, that they are recognized, Madam Speaker, for what they're worth, which is that they, to my mind, they go to the heart of what we are doing as part of the CARICOM and the OECS, and they need to be addressed in a way that shows or enhances the relevance of this institution to the lives of our people. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, you're going to take another 20 years before, anything. Well, it may take even longer, because for most people, it just simply is not a part of their consideration. It's just not part of what their life is, and it needs to be much, much more important than that. It needs to be more central than that.
SVG previously had 8 categories of workers under the CSME free movement of people. SVG will welcome 3 new airlines, including Liat 2020, after clearance was given by the Civil Aviation Director. This was announced by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves while debating the bill for an act to amend the Immigration Caribbean Community Skills National Act, Chapter 113. The other new flights are Win Air and Sunrise.
I was informed by the Director of Civil Aviation, Mrs. Best, that all the requisite permissions have been granted for Liat 2020, for Win Air, which is the aircraft out of St. Martin, and Sunrise out of Haiti, to do flights in and out of St. Vincent and Grenadines to different destinations. I'm not going to talk about their particular routes. I'm always very careful in not doing that because the individual companies would wish, Madam Speaker, you know my standard position on that, for them to advertise their schedules in whichever manner they would like. And I don't want to jump the gun by saying something which they may change. Let them do that. But that is a very important development in Caribbean connectivity.
PM Gonzalez met with the CEO of Liat last month to finalize scheduled flights with Liat 2020 to SVG. The Central Water and Sewerage Authority, the CWSA, is preparing for the peak of the 2024 hurricane season, which is predicted to last from August to October. This, according to CWSA, may cause disruptions to water treatment plants and pipeline networks due to heavy rainfall, causing mud flows and landslides. The CWSA is advising customers to activate emergency water storage plans to minimize any inconvenience during unscheduled water supply distribution. CWSA noted that communities from Georgetown to Fancy, which rely on the Perseverance, Sandy Bay, Owie, and Fancy systems, are usually affected by occasional mud flows due to the 2021 volcanic eruption. The CWSA is working with its design and funding partner to address this issue, with construction works scheduled to begin before the end of the year. Bishop's College is undergoing a full reconstruction, and according to Minister of Education Curtis King, reopening of the secondary school will be further delayed due to the extent of damage caused by Hurricane Beryl.
At first, in consultation with the board of directors for that school, we offered our assistance, but the school was thinking about a long-term plan that they felt now that it was damaged, they could effect. And we were willing to accommodate them until it was discovered that if we were to accommodate them in that long-term plan now, it would have resulted in a long-term delay in the reopening of that school. So we work out with the board of directors, the replacement of the roof, and I must say that although the guys started late, the contractor is working real hard. I'm really impressed. I was there yesterday evening. And
Interim Project Officer of the UBEC CERC project, Roxanne John, is encouraging more persons to get involved in home gardening. Speaking at the recently held ceremony for home gardening at the Kingston Methodist Church Hall, John stressed the importance of backyard gardening and the benefits derived for doing so.
Appreciate farming has its ups and its downs. It has its struggles. It will not always be nice and gloomy for you. Planting tomatoes, they may look very nice. The tree is looking very nice and promising. And they blossoming and they look good. And the fruits may come and they look good, big, huge. But somewhere along the line, some disaster may struck. Disease may struck. And then what happened? As home gardeners, you may get what? Discouraged. But that's part of farming.
Sergeant in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Iraqi Huggins, says the criminal landscape in SVG over the last decade has undergone significant changes, thus presenting new challenges. Huggins, who was speaking on NBC's On the Beat program last evening, said the increasing number of crimes in SVG over the past decade has put additional pressure on law enforcement officers to improve their work.
We see an emergence of cybercrime.
Yes.
That's the new one. To combat that, we have a IT unit that deals with cybercrimes. With drug-related offenses, drug trafficking and use of illegal drugs, particularly marijuana and cocaine. Those drugs we see on a daily basis in St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue to be a significant issue. We also see property crimes. While violent crimes increase, property crimes remain significant and prevalent still in terms of theft and burglary. We also see an increase of youth involvement in crimes. We have seen youngsters being charged for murders and stuff. And we also see the domestic violence and sexual offenses also increase over the past decades.
Sergeant in the Narcotics Unit, Sean Chandler, noted the use of certain skills which pose a challenge to crime fighting in SVG.
They use street sense and they use sophisticated methods in, let's say, moving drugs from one area to another. So their networking, along with communication tools that they use, is something that the police have to beat them by. And we can only do this through enhancing our skills and development from our counterparts in the region as well as international.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union, the SVG-TCCU, awarded 2 recipients with education bursary awards valued at $5,000 today at the SVG-TCCU headquarters. This forms part of the SVG-TCCU's 46th anniversary celebrations. Speaking at the Education Bursary Awards, Board Director Gilbert Frederick outlined the importance of 2 key values, including hard work and persistence.
Remember that success doesn't come overnight. It is a result of constant effort and perseverance. Persistence is equally crucial. Life will undoubtedly present obstacles and setbacks along the way. It shows how he responds to these challenges that will define you and your character. Persist in your studies, even when things get tough. Embrace the setbacks as opportunities for growth and for learning. Now, this bursary from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union that you're receiving today is a testament to your potential and a recognition of your hard work. It is an investment in your future and a symbol of our commitment to supporting your academic endeavors.
Frederick urged the recipients to further their education, and he reiterated the key values they should emulate.
Let them guide your actions and inspire you to reach your goals. Once again, congratulations to all the bursary recipients. We are confident that you can make the most of this opportunity and achieve great things. May your journey be filled with success and fulfillment, and the knowledge that your hard work and perseverance will pay off.
Meanwhile, Education Committee Representative Celine Barber said that the SVG-TCCU formally believes that investing in education is always beneficial, and there is no better way to uplift the country by helping someone to further their education.
When we support education, we all win. On behalf of the Education and Marketing Committee, I am honored to extend heartfelt congratulations to our bursary awardees, Ms. Mackey and Ms. John. Today, we celebrate your remarkable efforts and resilience. We are incredibly proud of you. We know that life can be challenging, especially when balancing work and study, but you persevered. Your hard work has paid off, and now that you are moving on to the next chapter of your journey, congratulations. As you continue forward, embrace the experiences that come your way. Keep believing in yourselves. Yeah? and never give up. Let your diligence and dedication shine through at every single opportunity.